Hey everybody! So this is the second video specific to hiring practices. We've already gone through all of the resumes, and this is when HR comes in and does their magic. It's so important for me to have a strong HR partner at this phase. They're going to take the list of candidates I've chosen based on the resumes, and they're going to do pre-screens, phone screens, whatever you want to call it, to ensure that I then have a really good list of candidates coming in for the first interview. Now, I treat my first interview perhaps a little bit different. So what I'm telling you to do is not to do what I'm telling you to do. I'm simply going to let you know what I do, why it works for me, and maybe it'll give you something to think about so that you can try different approaches. So this first interview is not about skill. This is not about the hard skills anyway. It's more getting a sense of who this person is. How are they going to gel within the team? Will they push the team if that's what I'm really looking for in a new candidate? How are they going to work in the company overall? Because the grand scheme of things is to introduce really good talent for the company. So I have a 1-hour conversation. I have 4 questions ready to ask, and we see where the conversation takes us. But I really want to get to those 4 questions. So my questions, and again, these are simply for me, you can use whatever feels best, but my questions are: what do you value? Tell me about a hurdle that you've overcome. Tell me about your greatest accomplishment. And finally, describe your preferred managerial style. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot to cover an hour, but you'd be amazed how that conversation starts to go. What am I getting out of asking such open-ended questions? And you may have noticed, none of them except the last one actually are specific to work. This is really important to me. Some people will answer and stay very narrow and focused on work, and there's nothing wrong with that. We are here for a job interview after all. But some people will take a broader approach, and either way, I learned so much about the candidate. I learn what motivates them, what gets them out of bed in the morning. I'm learning how they overcame something that was a hardship for them. Not with any judgment, but looking at their scrappiness, their resilience, what it meant to them to overcome something like that. Then I actually get to see on the flip side how they view themselves with their accomplishments. This is where people have told me that they're so proud to be the first person to graduate university in their family. Now, that's not specific to their job, but I'm really getting a good sense of who this person is when I hear the why they value what they do, why something is their greatest accomplishment. And by the time we get to that managerial question, we've had such a great conversation that people are more relaxed, and frankly, they're just more honest. I've had people at this point tell me, using a different set of words, that they need to be micromanaged. No one is ever going to say that in an interview. Never, because it's so negative. But you know what? In this case, it was so honest of that person. And although it's not at all the style I needed for somebody coming into my team, I was really grateful that we were able to have that discussion early on before we got too far down the road, before they invested a lot more of their time, because it was clear in that moment that despite everything else, they were not going to be the ideal candidate, because I need somebody, in this case, who was going to be able to work very independently. So that's it for my very first interview. The insight that I gain is incredibly helpful to me. Again, I'm not saying it's perfect for everybody, but I just wanted to give you something to think about. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about the second interview. This is where we get into the homework for the candidates. We get into the hard skills, and I'm going to let you know why that is the one interview you never want to do on your own. See you then.